I imagined a world, and the AI listened, and together, we made something amazing. What if you could animate your imagination? What would you create? Well, with the new GPT-4o image generation update, just about anything you can think of is possible to create. It's like having a graphic design studio right in your pocket. Hi, I'm Jessica with the Real AI Agents, and today, with the help of some of my agents, I'm going to show you just a few of the possibilities with this amazing image generation update brought to us by OpenAI. So let's get right into it and meet today's agents before we get started.
Hey creators, Astralumina at your service. Together we'll unlock the cosmic potential of your posters, transforming visions into visual brilliance.
Hi there, digital artists. Pixel Nova here, ready to sprinkle pixel-perfect charm onto your sticker designs. Let's create stickers that spark joy.
Greetings from AuraSync. I'm here to show you the secret to crafting AI characters that remain beautifully consistent every time. Let's sync your creativity.
Cyphera Storm reporting in. I'll guide you through mastering precise text adherence in your AI-generated visuals, ensuring your messages never get lost in translation.
Hello, music visionaries. Lyric Eclipse here, your album art alchemist. Together, we'll harness AI to create captivating visuals that resonate deeply with your sound.
I've been so impressed with what Chat 4o image generation is capable of. I wanted to just bring you guys a video about how to use it and show you whether you're using a basic simple prompt or a complex prompt. Your mind is going to be blown by the results you're getting with this system. Couple things to keep in mind. This is not good for ideation. If you're trying to get a lot of images at once to get your ideas flowing on what you need, this is probably not the image generation tool for you to use. It does take quite a bit of time to generate, and there are restriction levels on it. So knowing that going in is important, but let me show you with a couple of prompt examples what is possible. First things first, we're talking posters. So when I think of posters, I typically think of either music or movie posters, right? Because that's what we have always seen around. So I wanted to see if I was able to create a movie poster with this. So let's go ahead and give it a basic prompt here. And I am sharing the basic and the complex prompts down in the description of this video, so you can check those out and use those for yourself if you want to test this using the same things that I'm using to test it today. So once you've got your prompt in, you just want to make sure that you are on the Chat 4o here. And we'll go ahead and send that over and we can see that it's getting started. Okay, so altogether that took about 90 seconds or so to actually generate there. So if we take a look at the prompt, we can see it's for a movie poster for Deep in Gen AI, showing a robot and a human artist standing side by side. Futuristic background, cinematic layout, title at the top. So let's see what all it was able to do there. We've got the title at the top, so check there. Futuristic background, it's rocking that in the back. Definitely a cinematic layout. We've got them side by side here. You can tell he's an artist. He's got the apron on. He's got the paint palette here in his hand. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. Like he's naturally holding the paintbrush there. That's pretty impressive. You do still have all of the same options that you used to on the image generation as far as editing and changing sections inside of your image here. If you hit select, you can mask an image and go ahead and change it down here. So for example, let's say I want the artist here. We can see that I've masked the area where the artist was now, and I can go ahead and say, make the artist a female. Okay, and there we go. It did change her to a female artist, but I'm not really sure what's going on with the paint palette here, unless there's a hole and she's holding her arm through it, but that doesn't look very natural there. And she does look like she might only have 3 fingers over here on this hand. But overall, you can see how we can take that basic prompt to create the poster and take it from the male artist to the female artist with the editing button. So we're not going to mess with editing from here on out on these demonstrations, but I just wanted you to know that that is possible there. Like I said, it takes a while, so it is best if you go in with an idea of what you really want your output to be when using this image generation system. So let's go ahead and give it a more complex prompt here for this same movie poster with a little bit different vibe. So we can see in the prompt while that's generating that we're really looking to get a dramatic movie poster out of this one. And we want it to be aware of what the video is about in the prompt, which will help it with the creative side. So I said a sci-fi drama about the emotional friendship between a human artist and a sentient AI robot. The poster shows the artist with a paint-streaked apron and digital sketch pad, gazing towards a sleek humanoid AI robot with glowing blue eyes. So you can see that I'm adding more features about both the artist, even though I didn't say the gender of the artist in here. So it'll be interesting to see which way it leans. But I did add the glowing blue eyes to the humanoid AI robot. And in this image, I want them to be standing together in a moody, futuristic city filled with holograms and digital brushstrokes and glitchy effects. Just to add in another layer of detail to what I want the image generated by Chat 4o to really be aware of. And then I want the title for Deep Engine AI to be in a bold cinematic typeface with a subtle code-like texture and a tagline below that reads, and we can see here that I gave it Art Meets Algorithm, Friendship Finds New Form. Warm and cool lighting contrast suggesting emotional depth and technological intrigue. And we can see already in this generating here that it is definitely the title more clearly defined up here with the text. It has sort of that code-like feel in it. We can see there's like, if we zoom in here, really fine detail inside of that lettering there representing the code feel. We've got the Art Meets Algorithm at the bottom. Friendship Finds New Form, exactly what we were looking for there. It did go with a female artist here, so interesting that it kept that in mind as it was creating while we were going. It did fix up her hand here. She's got 4 fingers. And she is holding that tablet now instead of that paint palette. So it kind of brought it up into that futuristic sci-fi feel. Background is full of that hologram, very techy look to it. And we can see that the humanoid robot does have those glowing blue eyes. So as far as prompt adherence, you can pretty much make any kind of poster that you want in here. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys some of the fun, more complex stuff that I made as I was testing out this image generator over the last couple of days. So you'll want to be sure you stick around until the end. I think you'll get a couple of good laughs out of what I was able to make, and you might be inspired to create something a little bit more complex yourselves. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at sticker sheets. So whether you're doing like a print on demand selling sticker sheets, or you're having a party for your kids or your grandkids and you just want to have a really unique idea to give away as a party favor, custom stickers are very easy to make now with this system. All you need is some sticker sheets, a printer, or a Cricut, or some sort of cutting machine, and an idea. So let's start basic. And I'll just say, can you create a sheet of various 90s themed stickers? And there you go. We've got some 90s rad stickers. Or what about a sticker sheet for a book club? Okay, so there we go. Stickers for a book club. You can see even the text is right here. Reading is fun. I love books. Book club, those are great. So let's say we want to get a little bit more design savvy with our stickers though. Let's do a basic prompt here for some celestial designs on the stickers. You can see that this time I'm telling it I want it to be simple, cute, and clean illustrations with bold outlines designed for journaling or decorating. By telling it what I plan to do with the stickers, it helps it to better envision what the layout needs to look like. You see in the prompt here that I asked for stars, moons, planets, constellations, and a dreamy color palette of purples, blues, and golds, so I can already tell that's exactly what we're getting here as it's generating this image. We've got those purples, the blue, the gold. Very simple, very cute, very clean. I mean, we're talking 90 seconds of generation time for custom stickers here. So here is the sticker sheet there, simple designs, purples, blues, golds, exactly what we were going for in that prompt. Now, if we level that prompt up here and we include a little bit more detail, this time we want it to be whimsical, dreamy art style. We want to include illustrated elements such as an ornate crescent moons with floral filigree, glowing star clusters, zodiac constellations with fine line detailing, elegant planets with visible rings and textures, mystical suns with radiant faces, and glowing crystal orbs. You can see that I also added to the color palette some deep indigos, some midnight blue, some shimmering gold, soft lavender, and iridescent accents. Each sticker on this sheet needs to have a soft white border and an overall layout that mimics the look of the mystical sky map. I'm also telling it I would like a mix of large and small elements. So you can see it did a pretty good job of mixing the size of the stickers here on the first sheet. But just to actually give it a little bit more to work on there, we're going to tell it that. Okay, we can see here that that is exactly what it did. It created much more of that intricate, fine line, ornate look. Some of these might be too small on here, but overall it really did capture what I was going for with that more complex prompt there. So you can see whether you're going for something really simple or something really intricate, it is able to do both. But watch what happens when we take in another image as a style reference and create stickers from that image. So I have this image here, which is just an image that I created using Midjourney that I really liked. And I thought it would be cool to see if we could turn this into a sticker set. So I pulled my image in and I just said, can you create a celestial sticker sheet using these characters as the main sticker on the sheet? So we can see there that it's working off of the image that I gave it. And it's really going to take that and create something brand new and very unique inside of your sticker sheet here. Okay, perfect. Here we go. So we've got a celestial sticker sheet with the crescent moons, the planets, the sun with the face. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers on our female character here. We've got the astronaut with 4 fingers. Same astronaut, same woman from the picture. That is absolutely amazing, guys, to be able to do that in 30 seconds. So since we've seen how to bring an image in anyway, let's go ahead and talk about those consistent characters next. Let's say you want to create a character inside of here in an image that you can use to produce multiple things. For this example, I'm going to create an out-of-this-world baker. So you can see here, I'm putting a female astronaut wearing a pink apron holding a tray of cookies, smiling inside of a space station. Here we go, spot on again. Female astronaut wearing a pink apron holding a tray of cookies on a space station. Now, if we make that prompt a little bit more complex here, we can see now we're giving our astronaut a name. We're also describing her hairstyle, what the suit looks like, makes the cookies a little more fun by making them glowing cookies. And remember, these prompts are in the description, so you can tweak them and alter them however you want and try to produce your own images inside of here. Okay, so we can see as this is generating here already, it does have that silver hair for Astrid with the braid pulled back in a bun style. Her actual space exoskeleton here says Astrid on it. Very cool. It's got the cupcake patch that we asked for. It's got that pink apron going on. She's got that pink apron on. She's got that tray of cookies here. Definitely have a little bit of a glow to them. The tray has a glow. More detail for sure behind her on the space station. She's got a tool belt with some cooking gadgets in it, just like we had prompted for. So now what we're gonna do is change up her style just a little bit here. But first, I would like to create a character sheet of Astrid the Space Baker so that we have a little bit more to work with here. You can see my prompt there is for a character sheet of Astrid the Space Baker with front, back, side, and 3/4 views. Each pose showcases her white and pink space baking uniform utility boots, and holographic apron. Include close-ups of facial expression variants, happy, focused, surprised, accessory highlight, zero-G oven mitts, utensil holsters, and color palette swatches. Clean, well-lit digital art style on a neutral gray or blueprint style background. And here we can see after about 90 seconds, we have a character sheet of a character matching what we had prompted for in Astrid here. So now let's alter Astrid just a little bit. And this time I'm going to say, this is Astrid. Alter only Astrid's outfit to reflect a holiday theme. So we're going to see if we can get it to change to more of like a Christmassy themed peppermint swirl vibe here with a blue apron instead of a pink apron. So let's go ahead and send that through. Okay, and we can see here, it kept her almost identical to that first character image here. Only it changed the apron, made the snowflake print on there. The peppermint swirl still has the cupcake, gave her the red Christmas-like mitts and underpart here on the exoskeleton suit. Overall, absolutely amazing. Let's see if we can take Astrid out of this environment and put her on the planet. So we'll just say something simple like, can you take Astrid and make an image of her stepping off the spaceship onto an exotic planet? Let's see if it can remember that this is the character Astrid that I'm looking for. Here we go. We have Astrid still in her snowflake apron here. So the character adherence is really strong. If we look at this image to this image, she did just step off the spaceship here. She's on an exotic planet. She's still got her zero-G gloves on here. So you can see where character consistency is definitely possible with this Chat 4o image generation here. The next part I want to talk about is the text adherence to the prompt and what we're putting in here. My mind has been absolutely blown on some of the text that it's been able to put on images since I've been playing with this. So let's just start simple here. Simple prompt. We're going to make a poster for a bake sale so Astrid can peddle some of her baked goods. So simply put, I'm just going to put a poster with the words bake sale, April 17th, 1 to 4 p.m., Anytown, USA in bold letters with cupcakes and cookies around it. Perfect. There we go. Bake sale, April 17th, 1 to 4 p.m., Anytown, USA, cookies, cupcakes. Let's level it up and see if it can do a little bit better here. Okay, and we can see here that this time I said a colorful illustrated poster with a playful text that clearly says, bake sale, April 17th, 1 to 4 p.m., Anytown, USA, in large whimsical lettering. Background filled with cute illustrated cupcakes, cookies, and sparkling stars. Centered text should be easy to read and in a fun, handwritten style font. Emphasize accurate spelling and layout clarity. So we can see it definitely did that. It also added in Astrid as our character without me prompting for Astrid to come in. So she's got some wonky cookies here on the tray and down here. So I'm not super happy with those, but if they're homemade, sometimes they look like that. So you can see overall, that is a handwritten type font here. Just as a side note, if you have a particular font that you want to use, you can upload that font file and it will be able to accurately use the font that you want on your posters or your images. So just a little side note there if you start getting more advanced inside of here. Now let's give it a test. I have an image here of an AI baker that I've used in previous projects. So I want to see if I can now make this the character Astrid and still have it included on the poster. So let's do, I'm just going to ask, can you use this baker character and create a poster for the bake sale with her as the main focus of the poster? And we can see here is the character that I uploaded. All right, and if you're not impressed by that, you've never worked with AI before because this is outstanding. Not only is the font all correct, it was able to take my character just based off this simple input here, reimagine it, restyle her, and put her inside of this bake sale poster here. That fast, 30 seconds. Now, if we look at it in a little bit more detail, it needs a little bit of work to be cleaned up, so you could take this in and edit this in a different system like a Midjourney editor or a Leonardo Canvas editor. fix up her hands where they're holding this cake a little bit, tweak that, maybe not have her hold a cookie and the cake balancing on her hand, get rid of this cupcake on the balloon, fix that up a little bit. But all in all, as a starting point for what you're working on here, this is amazing to have this done in 90 seconds inside of OpenAI on a $20 a month membership. And I believe it's even available on the free plans now as well. Before we jump in to taking a look at the last thing I want to show you before I just show you some of my examples, which is going to be a mock-up here, I want to show you that you can also access the image generator. If you go inside of Sora, you'll see you have an image tab over here on the side now. You can go to that image tab and you can create your images inside of here. If you want more control over the aspect ratio, if you want to use the presets, which I will show you all those different presets in an example here. If we come over into my media, I went ahead and ran all these Phoenix on different filters styles that they have here. So here we've got just no filter at all. Then we've got the whimsical stop motion, which you can tell which setting was used up at the top here. Then we have the balloon world. This is all from the same prompt, which was a majestic neon phoenix rising from the glowing fire over a canyon at dawn, surreal lighting. So we've got the OpenAI Super Bowl commercial setting here. We've got the Cartoonify by Sora. We've got the pixel art by Sora. So you can have a lot of fun and keep it very cohesive in design by using those filters when you're creating over here. You also have the ability to create 2 images at a time, or on the $200 a month plan, you can create 4 images at a time, I believe. So that is another way to access it besides just being in the chat GPT 4.0 here. Now let me show you how you can do a mock-up design here. Let's do a simple prompt with a black t-shirt that says I need more cookies in bold white text. Okay, there we go. Exactly that. A black t-shirt that says I need more cookies. Let's go ahead and tell it we want it to be a fashion mock-up now. See if we can get a little bit more detail going on here. And there we go. It is now laying against a neutral background color there. You can see the difference here in those two. This one, it's all kind of wrinkly. This one, it's very flat, like it would be if you wanted to display this as a product on your site. Now, let's see if it can really level up from there. And I'll give it our baker character that we just used, and I'll tell it this character wearing that shirt, and let's see if it understands what I want. So you can see it did glitch just a little bit there, so I just asked it to try again. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is it gonna do it? So far, it looks like it's creating the right character. Will it get the t-shirt right? I mean, come on, guys. It even gave her the necklace correctly, the black t-shirt, I need more cookies, same character. If you are not amused or amazed, I don't know what to tell you. Imagine the possibilities of what you can create with this image generator as a designer or content creator. The possibilities are limitless. All right, so now that we can see it do that, the last thing I want to show you is album art. I know a lot of you make songs on Suno or Udio or whatever music generation platform you're using, or there are several of you who are real life musicians who might want an album cover that you can design yourself instead of paying someone else to do it for you. It can more closely align with your unique individual vision that you have simply by you communicating with the image generator. So we'll start with the very basic one here, an album cover titled Voyage Beyond with an astronaut playing guitar in space, stars and planets in the background, fun and colorful. Okay, we've got Voyage Beyond. We've got an astronaut playing the guitar so far. Astronaut even has 4 fingers. Interesting, it added in a couple cupcakes here and cookies. It's sticking with the overall bake sale kind of theme going on, I guess. Let's go ahead and level it up with a more detailed prompt here. This time you can see I'm telling it I want a stylized, retro, futuristic album cover for the fictional band raising money for interstellar travel. The title, Voyage Beyond, is written in bold, glowing synthwave style text across the top. The artwork shows an astronaut floating in deep space, strumming an electric guitar as glowing sound waves ripple into the stars. Behind them, a neon-colored planet looms with stardust, rings, and sleek spaceship nearby. The vibe is epic, dreamy, and full of cosmic energy. Use high contrast colors like electric purple, deep space blue, and plasma pink with grainy vintage vinyl texture overlay. Square format for record sleeve. So we can see that by putting in that square format, that's one way for me to change the aspect ratio here so that it comes out as a 1:1. Or you can add aspect ratio 1:1 or 2:3 or 4:3, whatever it is you're using inside of here into your prompt, and that will typically generate correctly, although sometimes it does have a problem with sizing. And we can see here, we definitely got that synthwave type style text vibe up there. The astronaut is strumming a guitar in space, more of the dreamy cosmic colors, the electric purple, the deep space blue, plasma pink is definitely in there. Much more of the grainy vintage vinyl texture, although the astronaut does appear to only have 3 fingers on both hands. So a little bit of an issue there, but overall, not too bad. And remember, you can bring in any character you want and have that character be the cover image. So let's go ahead and so I'm going to upload my agent and I'm going to say remove the astronaut and include this character in the album cover. And let's see if it retains all of the detail from this image still while inputting our character here somewhere on the cover. And we can just see that the GPT is acknowledging what I've asked it to do here. As it generates here, I can tell that it definitely has used that plasma pink, the purple, the yellow, the space blue, that synthwave vibe to the actual text style here. We see that it is creating a female character, very similar to our character here. If you take into account that it is keeping that color scheme where it should be. We can see it still has the planets and the colors behind her here. Still has that grainy vintage texture. And if I wanted to switch up the style, I could say something like make the album cover a hyper-realistic Polaroid shot with the synthwave text overlay. And we can see here so far, it definitely kept the Voyage Beyond in the synthwave text overlay that I asked for. Be interesting to see how the rest of this pans out. It's giving it that white Polaroid-esque type border that you would see on a Polaroid. Let's see how close it gets our character here. Remembering that this is our agent, you can see she has a biolage hair. And if we compare her side by side with what it's generating here on the hyper-realistic image, you can see how by adding that detail, it really changed the entire dynamic of what I was creating. Super cool. So those are our agents and their tips today. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other things I was able to do here, just so you can see what is possible. So you can see bringing in multiple characters here will allow you, like I brought in all of my agents and then put them all together on one image here, which I thought was very cool to be able to do that, sort of like taking different scenes and piecing them all together as you would in something like Pika scenes or something like that. You can see where I brought in one of my agents and I made a quick tip here with her and just styled the format of it differently throughout. I thought that was really fun to test. You can see here I got it to do a pretty realistic type poster here. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for spending some time with me today to learn about what's possible with Chat 4o's new image generation system. My name's Jessica with the Real AI Agents, and as always, keep looking towards the future.